Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and I'm flying solo tonight. Jordy had something he was excited to get into. He didn't give me many details. I think he's going to like a dance or something like that. But he just asked me if I could cover for him, and obviously I told him no problem. He's been covering for me a lot lately. But just bear with me a little bit. It's a little bit different when we're just running these things solo. But we do have a 10-game slate. We're going to be talking about the NBA slate on Flex Friday, which is February 2nd. And we've got, like I said, 10 games, and I've got 4 picks for you. But before we get into the picks, if you've never tried Prize Picks, use our promo code to my left here, and they will match your first deposit up to $100. They're just going to double what you put on. So if you deposit the whole 100, you'll get 200 to play with. Just make sure you put that code in, and they'll hook you up with that deal. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be able to jump on these plays before they get bumped or removed. You'll just want notifications on so you can see the videos right when we drop them and decide whether or not you want to get into these plays. And if you guys don't mind, do me a favor and like the video. It's the best way to support the channel. We're getting so close to 10,000 subscribers. And honestly, guys, I just can't thank you enough. I know I say that every video, but we had no idea that we would be pushing 10,000 subs in early February. So we owe it all to you guys. Thank you so much. And again, it's just the best way to support the channel. Just like the video, and it just puts us in front of a larger audience. So thank you so much. All right, so the plays that I'm going to be covering, I'm going with Kawhi Leonard over 6.5 rebounds, Franz Wagner over 3.5 assists, DeJounte Murray over 10.5 rebounds and assists, and Terry Rozier over 24.5 PRA. Before I get into our recap and breakdown, I just want to tell you guys about CHALKBOARD. It's a new platform that we've partnered up with. It's kind of similar to Sleeper. The best thing about it is they let you make your own lines. So you can pretty much on like 90% of the plays, I would say, you can adjust the line to any of the alternate lines that are available. So if I'm like, I know Franz Wagner is going to definitely get more than 3.5 assists, I could bump that up to like 5.5 and increase my multiplier for a higher payout. And just the same, if you want to lower a line, they'll just give you a lower payout, but you can, lower lines too, and just kind of fine tune your slip to be exactly what you want. Because they give you that freedom, they don't offer any sort of flex plays or insured plays, so you have to hit every play on your slip to cash it. But it's a lot of fun, and they have bets as low as $1. So if you guys want to check that out, just use code BACKDOOR and they will match your first deposit up to $100. And there's a link in the description of the video if you want to check that out. All right, so let's get into our recap real quick. All right, let me see here. Okay, so this is obviously, I'm gonna mention everything that Jordan and I picked out last night. So we took Colin Sexton over 2.5 rebounds. This was a really great game. If you guys watched it, it was so exciting. But Sexton didn't end up going for many rebounds. He just went for 1, but he did play a really good game. And then we had taken LeBron James and Lauri Markkanen for over 4.5 3-pointers made. The combo, and then LeBron didn't play, so they gave us a DMP, but I'm pretty sure, I bet you that would have cashed. Let me just pull up here real fast, because Markkanen was on fire. No, we would have needed one more. So Markkanen went for 4 threes, so if LeBron would have got 1, that would have cashed us, but it doesn't matter because it was a DMP. But moving on, we took Tobias Harris over 34.5 PRA. He had a great game as well. He went for 40. Him and Maxey were just on fire tonight. And then let's see here. John Collins over 9.5 rebounds and assists. He cashed that for us. He went for 11. And Donovan Mitchell over 11.5 rebounds and assists. He hooked us. We made it all the way to 11. We just needed one more. And I blame Max Strus. Again, another name we don't know how to say on here, but you know who I'm talking about. He went for 10 boards. The dude almost had a triple-double tonight. But yeah, Mitchell ended up falling short by just, 0.5. And then Dante DiVincenzo, 27.5 PRA. He didn't get it done for us. He only went for 25. And it wasn't from a lack of opportunity. He just had a bad shooting night. He went 8 for 26 from the field. So unfortunately, he didn't get it done for us. He came pretty close. Just a few more buckets would have gotten there for us. And he really, he didn't really have that great of a game, but he did have all the opportunities in the world to get it done. It was just the Jalen Brunson show tonight, and that was also a really awesome game. But all right, that covers the recap. Let's start breaking down these plays. So to get us started with this Kawhi Leonard, 6.5 rebounds. Let's take a look at this over-under. There is blowout potential in this game. 236.5 over-under with the Clippers favored by 11.5. But as we've seen, Detroit can kind of like surprise you sometimes, or even like in the case for tonight, the Lakers and the Celtics, like we were talking about that beforehand. Like you just never know when these teams are going to show up. They're professional athletes, so they can just turn it on when you least expect it. And the juggernaut teams can end up losing. So I'm not saying the Pistons are going to lose, but they've been playing better ball lately. And usually the Clippers tend to force teams to play small ball. But I was thinking about taking Jalen Duren's under on his PRA, and I'm like, you know what? That dude's like, he's a powerful center, but he's athletic enough and I think fast enough to keep up with that small ball, and Monty might still be able to give him those minutes if the Clippers try to force that small ball. So I decided not to take his under on the PRA. All that being said, I think this game, there's a chance it could be closer. It doesn't necessarily mean there's just going to be a crazy blowout. The Clippers are playing great lately, but all that being said, I'm comfortable enough taking Kawhi's rebounds in this. He's gone over this 5 out of his last 5 games, as we can see here. And I was just checking the injury report there beforehand. Sorry, my computer's moving a little bit slow right now. So if we look at this matchup, it's middle of the road, and I'm not really concerned about matchup when it comes to Kawhi anyways, but they are 12th in rebounds allowed. If we go specifically to small forwards, it's in a much better matchup, 22nd in rebounds allowed. So I feel like this is going to get bumped. I like this play a lot. I don't even need to break down Kawhi's minutes and everything. It's Kawhi Leonard. He's going to get his minutes as long as it doesn't turn into a blowout. It's pretty crazy. Look at that. Just under 33 minutes a game, and he's averaging less than 1 foul per game. That's just over the last 5, but still very impressive. If we hop over to Daily Grind, we've got this is actually favored to the under. So go with your gut. You never have to take any of these plays if you're uncomfortable with them. But Daily Grind is saying it's just over a 52% odds to hit the under at a -127. And we've got some odds makers like DraftKings thinks it's a 50-50 shot. Some of these other odds makers like BetMGM has it super juiced to the under. So again, go with your gut. But I'm going to take this for the over here. Because I think Detroit could linger a little bit and hang around longer than you would expect, and force Kawhi to play his full 30 minutes. That would be awesome. So, all right, moving on to the next play. We have, I apologize, it's moving so slow. We have Franz Wagner over 3.5 assists. He's just kind of in rhythm right now. And he's getting the minutes. He's had a boost in his minutes, so averaging 30 minutes, but he's got this one game here where against Sacramento where he just played 5 minutes, so that kind of takes his average down a little bit. Let's go up here to just the last 5 games. By the way, this is Outlier. This is my favorite statistical analysis app on the market, and we've partnered up with them. So if you guys are interested in checking this out, you can get a 7-day free trial. There's a link in the description of the video. And people have asked before if we use Premium or Pro. We just use Premium, and it gives us everything we need, but I know Pro gives you a lot more than that. Jordy and I are going to be trying Pro pretty soon here, but we've been happy with the Premium since we started this channel. Anyways, if you want to check it out, risk-free, 7-day free trial, link in the description of the video. So if we look at this matchup, it's a little bit above middle of the road as far as the defense goes, but there's a little bit of a soft spot there. 9th in assists allowed to small forwards specifically. So I know this is going to be a tough matchup against Minnesota. So I think he's going to have to pass the ball a little bit more. He's not going to be able to just score at will. And he's kind of in rhythm with moving the ball, So I like him to stay above 4.5 for this game. And if we hop over to Daily Grind, They have this favored to the over, 51.85% odds to hit the over at a minus 126 on the daily grind odds. And let's see, we got like a minus 120 or higher across most of the other odds makers. So I'm feeling good about this play as well. It's going to be my second play. And then going down, we got DeJounte Murray. I feel really good about this play. I forgot to go to the over-under here for the Orlando and the Timberwolves game, so I'll cover that real quick. I got a 212 over-under, so they're expecting a low-scoring game. Timberwolves favored by 7.5. Not surprised, but Orlando they're not a slouch team. You know, they're really putting it together. They're a good team this year, so I think this will be pretty close. But when we talk about DeJounte here, we have a super high over-under against the Suns, 247.5 over-under. Suns favored by 3.5. And DeJounte has really been in rhythm with the assist game. Look at those last 6 games. So his assists have been popping off, and the rebounds have been pretty solid as well. He's had a couple games here, like against Sacramento when he went for 10 rebounds, 9 against Cleveland. Those are pretty difficult matchups. So I like the rebounds and assists instead of just one or the other. And if we take a look at the matchup specifically, it has him listed as point guard, but I know he plays the 2 sometimes when Trey is in. So I'll give you the breakdown for both of those. But when he is playing point, they're 11th in rebounds allowed and 18th in assists allowed. And then when we hop over to shooting guard, it's super juicy. We got 23rd in rebounds allowed and 22nd in assists allowed. Guards just have a little bit easier of a time than the other positions do against the Suns, and I know that from watching them, right? Like pretty much every game. I don't miss a game, obviously. But if we look at his last 10 here, he has gone over this 7 out of his last 10, and his minutes have been awesome. 35 minutes a game, averaging less than 2 fouls a game. So I'm feeling really good about him continuing to do this in a matchup where it's actually pretty favorable. And I think that this will turn into a shootout. The Suns have been really putting it together lately, but they do have a tendency to let teams back in. And we know that the Hawks can keep up with anyone when it comes to scoring. So I think this will be a really fun game, and I like DeJounte a lot. I know this is going to get bumped up. All right, and let's see what Daily Grind has to say about this. So this is slightly favored to the under on Daily Grind. 51.82% odds to hit the under at a minus 127. So as always, go with your gut here. It looks like DraftKings disagrees. They have it favored to the over, but a lot of these other odds makers have it favored to the under. But I just think with the matchup against the Suns, they do let guards do most of the work. So I think that he'll be good for 10.5 rebounds and assists. But go with your gut. If you don't like it, just fade it. It's no big deal. And if you're not comfortable taking some of these plays that are, the odds are in a different direction than what we're aiming for, you might not feel comfortable with this Terry Rozier play because this is a little bit of a hot take. And feel free to fade it, but I like this here. Wow, look at this. The huge... Actually, I'm looking at the wrong one here. I almost looked at the Charlotte Hornets game. Hornets are super favored to lose that to OKC. Okay, my narrative for this one is Terry Rozier has his breakout game. And I don't think he's going to go for like Jalen Brunson did tonight or Maxey did tonight. But I think that this is where he establishes himself as this was a successful trade. So we have a 231.5 over under with the Heat favored by 8. And we know that the Wizards can stay in these games with their scoring. And over here on Outlier, this is pretty ugly. Actually, no, this is on his PR. Yeah, this is okay, cool. Yeah, so he's only gone over this 5 out of his last 10 games, but keep in mind this game against Memphis was his first game with the Miami Heat. And I just really think that this is his opportunity. He's been slowly putting it together on rebounds and assists. And then, when he's scoring, he's not really doing as much, getting as many rebounds and getting as many assists, obviously. But I think that this matchup is the matchup to put him on the right path here, because I think everybody's going to have an opportunity to eat in this game. If we look at the matchup against point guards, we got 23rd in points allowed, 26th in rebounds allowed, 29th in assists allowed. So I think he's going to be able to get some scoring done, and I think that he's going to be able to grab some rebounds, but I also think he's going to be able to dish the ball out, and I think his teammates are going to be able to eat too. So if you're uncomfortable with this, just fade it. I'm kind of having some fun with this one. I'm going to roll it in some slips. But yeah, it is a little bit of a hot take because he hasn't put it together just yet, but his minutes are there. Let's just go to the last 5 since this full 10 doesn't cover all of his time. Sorry, it's moving so slow. Okay. I want to look at his minutes. So yeah, averaging 30 minutes a game, only 1.6 fouls per game. And he hasn't been shooting that well, 32% from the field at about 11 attempts per game. So I just really feel like he needs an opportunity to put it together, get his confidence back, get on track with his new team. And I just think this is the perfect opportunity to do this. And if they end up getting a lead and staying up a little bit, I think they'll give him that opportunity to stay out there and just kind of, get rolling. So if you're uncomfortable with this, just fade it. I'm feeling good about it. If we take a look at on Daily Grind, they also have this favored to the under. So fade all these if you want, but these are the ones I'm feeling good about. 51.16% odds to hit the under at a -123. And it looks like about a -120. So no one's like heavily favoring this to the under, but this is why a tool like Daily Grind is awesome, because I can just, you're not just blindly taking plays. I love being able to confirm my plays. Like I use this DFS optimizer to search out plays, but then you got to kind of balance it out, and you got to just like use your own knowledge when you're looking at the board. And if you're watching games, the plays will stick out to you, and then you can use this to confirm where your plays are at. And honestly, I find myself a lot of the time like finding plays that I'm like, okay, this isn't necessarily the narrative that everyone else is on, but this is what I'm feeling. So go with your gut. If you don't like this, it's fine. But if you're interested in checking out these tools from Daily Grind, they're our official partner, and they will give you 25% off of any of their tools that they have. DFS Optimizer, the correlation tool, the middling tool, the fantasy scores tool. They have 4 different awesome tools for DFS. And if you want to check it out, just use code BACKDOOR. There's a link in the description of the video. And yeah, they'll give you 25% off of your first month. So that's going to do it, guys. These are the 4 that I'm rolling with for first look. We'll have 4 more for you tomorrow. Jordy will be back for the daily show. But once again, we're going Kawhi Leonard over 6.5 rebounds, Franz Wagner over 3.5 assists, DeJounte Murray over 10.5 rebounds and assists, and Terry Rozier, the spiciest take of them all, over 24.5 PRA. So that's going to do it, guys. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy Flex Friday. We'll be doing all of our live Flex Friday builds and whatnot in our voice chat tomorrow for in our Discord. So if you're interested in checking out our Discord, it's about 50 cents a day. There's a link in the description of the video. If you just click the link and then you go into Discord, go to server subscriptions and subscribe, and it'll unlock all of the channels for you. And yeah, it's a good community over there, good vibes. And yeah, if you're interested, if that's your type of thing, definitely come say hey to us in there. But once again, guys, thank you so much for watching our channel, watching our show, getting to know us. It's been awesome getting to know you guys. And we're getting so close to 10,000 subs, and we just are super grateful for that. So we hope you guys have a great Friday, and we'll catch you in the next video.